If you could just tell us how this team came together with your involvement and how excited you are to play in TBT for the first time.
I'm not going to sit here and say I had this large role in putting the team together, but I know I kind of influenced a couple teammates when I joined, kind of influenced other people, other guys to join once they seen that I would join. So I just wanted to take an initial step and let them work Tampa know that I was down from the beginning, and just trying to say I was all in from the beginning. Yep.
Got a question here from Justin Lee. Go ahead, Justin.
Bryce, just I'll open it up with, what's it like being in that hotel? I mean, does it feel like AAU again? Maybe no fans playing. I don't know. Does it feel like you're a kid again? What's it like in there and playing in this tournament?
It has a little AAU feeling. But I can tell you this: in AAU, I wasn't $1 million wasn't a prize. So, it's a much better feeling, a bigger feeling, a sense of urgency you have to go about it. We only have a few days to get prepared for our first game. We're playing high level competition night in, night out. So we're just trying to start off with a win on Saturday and try to get things rolling from there.
Thanks, Bryce.
Next question from Nathan King. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, Bryce. Hey, I remember after the Final Four, the last time we talked to you at Auburn, you talked about obviously your number one goal was to make it to the league, to make a G League team or something like that. Obviously, you did that and you were one of, you made a splash in the G League last year. After this TBT thing is over, what does that next step look like for you with the G League next year and with the NBA next year, trying to get prepared for that? What kind of your next steps look like?
Yeah, I was actually currently working out because I didn't know if I was going to get a call. I potentially could have got a call for an NBA team through that transaction window that happened on the 23rd. So at the same time of preparing for this tournament, I was preparing for potentially getting called by an NBA team just because my agent wanted me to be on standby. But after this is over with, just from hearing talks, I should have opportunity, but things aren't guaranteed. Things aren't 100%. So after the season, I'm just going to continue training, continue staying in shape, and just hopefully something opens up. And I feel pretty confident that I'll put myself in a good position. So I'm not going to use this as just trying to. I'm definitely use it as an opportunity to showcase my talents, just like I'm pretty sure everybody else is. But for the most part, I feel comfortable where I'm at, and I'm just going to try and go out here and win and try to get this million.
For you, being a guy that's got now NBA G League experience, what was kind of the number one thing you learned from that this last year? Obviously, getting to score a lot and getting to play a lot. What was kind of the number one thing you learned that's going to help you in your career, and also what might help you in this tournament?
Man, I think the G League helped me out so much last year. Just thinking the game. When I was around the Celtics last year before I was into the G League and everything. They got the how smart guys play. The guys aren't the fastest at their level, but how they think everything through. They make certain reads, and my biggest thing was just making the right play. I don't have to be this super play. I'm a big-time shooter, and I understand that I know my role. But I don't have to be this super playmaker. I just have to make the right plays, and that's what they want to see. They want to see guys making the right plays. They don't want to see you necessarily, want to do all these dribble moves and see you jack up a shot. That's not what they want to see. If that's the right play, if it's 5 seconds on the clock and it's time to do that, then that's when you do that. But for the most part, it's all reading, it's all making the right plays, and that's really I've tried to use that in the G League, and I try to transfer that to playing with my guys in TBT and when I go home for open gyms as well.
Appreciate it, Bryce.
Next question here from Jason Caldwell. Go ahead, Jason.
Bryce, hey man, when you look at the opportunity, you mentioned there's money on the line, but knowing how many people will be watching, how many eyes will be on this, is it a little extra motivation knowing that, man, this is an opportunity to showcase my skills that maybe a lot of guys aren't having right now?
Right. Like you said, it's definitely opportunity. But I feel like at these times, you still want to stay within yourself because there are a lot of people watching. And, you want to stay doing what you're doing. I'm not a big believer. I really dislike when people, when they see their ESPN game or, they want to try, try to do too much at times. And, that's not what I'm about, and that's not what I'm planning on doing. I know that's why I'm kind of glad about the team I have. I'm very familiar with the guys, and we're gonna play a good team ball. And we've already talked about it. We have good chemistry, and we have people that can shoot. We have a bunch of killers, like Deshaun said.
Yeah, because of that familiarity, how much does that help this transition into getting ready to play? That you're so familiar with a lot of guys on this team already.
It helps so much just because, I know what we have. They're familiar with me. I'm familiar with them. And like you said, we're just trying to, like, these next few days is important that we continue to build on our chemistry and continue to sharpen things because it's not that big of a window that we can prepare for. So we're just trying, like you said, just going to try and use those things.
Yeah, one more quick one. Who's somebody that the Auburn fans aren't familiar with that they're going to really be impressed with when you guys take the court?
That they're not familiar with. Everybody's probably familiar with Fletcher, but and he's definitely gonna do his thing. But if I had to pick another guy, it would probably be I would say Scotty is a big piece. Super athletic, freakish athletic, he can pop, shoot the pop three. He would kind of remind me of a Auburn player that Coach Pearl probably would have recruited just because of his athleticism and he could shoot the ball. So he fits our style of play really well, I would say.
Next question here from Gianna. Go ahead, Gianna.
Hi, I was just wondering if you have talked to any of the guys from this year's team since their season was cut short, and how does it feel to kind of be the next Auburn basketball to play since that moment?
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
Have you talked to any of the guys from this year's team since the season was cut short? And then how does it feel to be the next kind of Auburn basketball to play since that season was cut?
Have I talked to my G League teammates, you're saying?
Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn.
Oh, have I talked to my Auburn guys? Oh, yeah. Since the season's ended, yeah, I've communicated with them because I've actually had some guys that were that are actually involved in the draft process right now, and they're trying to, kind of ask me what things to look forward to. Guys like Samir, Austin, I've kept in contact with them just because they want to know how the draft process is going to be. And I've just, tried to inform them as much as I could.
And then the other part of the question was, how does it feel knowing that you guys are kind of, as War Tampa, the next Auburn team to play since then? Like, is there any sort of sense that you guys kind of get to pick up for the fans since their season was cut short?
Right, and yeah, it'll be kind of weird just because we are an Auburn alumni team, but we're not the Auburn team anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to cheering for the Auburn team to go and cheering for a War Tampa team. It'll be interesting. I know we've gotten a lot of support so far, and I know it'll keep growing because we have so many guys like Deshaun, Horace, and LaRon who've all had impact on teams where we got to the tournament for the first time in I don't know how many years, and then me and Horace when we had the impact on that team with the Final Four. So I know the Auburn family will be proud and can't wait to see us.
Thank you.
Next question here from Andrew. Kesey, go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Bryce, were you behind the push to change the team name from Tampa 2020 to War Tampa? And if so, what does it mean to play again under, the concept of War Eagle, but also, with a new team that you're with now and a Tampa-based team?
Yeah, I'm not going to take credit for saying I came up with the War Tampa name. I didn't, but like Deshaun said, I thought it was a really good idea. Combining, the team from last year with part of the Auburn War Eagle name, and I was all behind it once they told me. So, I didn't have any complaints about it. And what was your second question?
Oh, that was pretty much it. I was kind of long-winded in it. That was my fault. You answered it. Sorry.
All right, next question here from Justin Lee.
Hey, Bryce, just want to ask you more about Fletcher. What do you think it's going to be like to play with him? I know you're used to being the best sharpshooter on your team, and what's it like to kind of have two of you? What's it going to be like to play with him?
Oh, it's going to be incredible. Like, I feel like me and Fletcher chemistry has already been good as of recent. You know, I've just met a couple of days ago, but, you know, he's an outstanding shooter, can shoot it from anywhere, off balance, on balance. It doesn't even matter. Hand in the space. And, you know, I'm a similar guy. And, you know, it'll be tough it's going to be very, very tough I feel like, to stop both of us on the wings. And we have a good point guard and Taylor who does a good job of finding us and when we want the ball. So it's going to be really interesting now that I have another shooter on that wing.
Next question here from Patrick Graham. Go ahead, Patrick.
Looking ahead, you guys, the second round matchup, if you get by the first round, you got the defending champion Carmen's crew. Do you find it an advantage to get a game under your belt before taking the floor against them?
Yeah, I actually enjoy having that first game just because it allows us to get used to the balls, get used to the goals, get used to where we're playing at, and so I wasn't really disappointed that we had to play a game before we got to them. I really actually rather that. So that we have a full game on our belt with team chemistry, and they'll be slightly more winded. I've experienced they'll be slightly more winded just because they're coming off of not playing and we're coming off of playing. So it'll be a couple days in between that. But I'm really excited to hopefully playing Carmen's crew. So, but of course we can't look past the first game. So we're just going to take one game at a time.
Right. Thank you.
Last couple questions here before we let Bryce go and bring on Horace Spencer. Another question here from Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Bryce, you guys are built as a mixture of Auburn and Florida guys. Was there same thing that I asked Deshaun? Has there been kind of was there in the early days a rivalry between some of the Florida guys and the Auburn guys? Friendly, of course, because you guys are on the same team, but a rivalry nonetheless.
Yeah, people going to talk. They talk. We talk our talk. They talk their talk. Just competitive nature. At the end of the day, we want to compete, and like I said, that's one thing I like about my team is when we've been scrimmaging the past few days, we're competing, we're going at it. It's we're trying, like you said, we're trying to win, pushing each other. So I mean, of course, it's definitely a competitive nature right there.
All right, last question here from Jake Weiss. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, Bryce. I was just wondering, you talked about support from the Auburn family. Have you heard from any of the Auburn coaching staff during this time?
Yeah, all the time. I talk to the coaches all the time. They keep in contact with me. I've actually talked to Coach Pearl no longer than probably a week ago, probably about 3 or 4 days ago. Coach Flanagan, one of the assistant coaches, I talked to him about maybe 2 weeks ago. But yeah, for the most part, coaches do a good job keeping in contact with me, and I do the same.
All right, Bryce, any parting thoughts here before we let you go?
Just to look out, like Ashawn said, look out for a show. We're going to try and put on one. We're going to shoot a lot of threes, so it's going to be very similar to Auburn basketball. We're going to play hard. And, that's 1 through 5, guys play hard. And, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't play hard, you're not going to win. And that's always how I thought. So look forward to us playing hard and making a lot of shots.